allow. Okay guys, so we're going to actually just start this process. I'm going to just cut the front part a bit. I'm going to minimize all of this. We're going to make our workspace clean. That's the most important thing that you can do. Okay, open your Finder, go to whichever your place, wherever you want it. So what we're going to do is, our objective is very simple. It's going to be most likely a Next.js app. I know this, but ideally you would make a new folder for your project, because I already know what project it's going to be in. I'm going to create a new folder here, okay, inside Next.js stuff. What do you want to call this project? Marriage compatibility. Okay. Marriage wavelength, okay. And marriage wavelength. Okay, so we have made this. And now what we will do is, we are going to first go to codecs. We will not do anything else. We'll just minimize all the other things. If you see, codecs is a pretty advanced tool, and you'll have a lot of settings. So make sure that when you go to settings, click on settings, go to your configuration, preferably keep it at never or full access approval policy, so that it doesn't keep stopping you. It's really smart. Okay, so this is important, so that you don't have to keep going back to it. All right. Codecs has a bunch of dependencies, so you will have to install them. These include Node and all of these other things, and also Playwright. If you have enabled computer use, Playwright also needs to be installed. Also, when you are first installing codecs, you will have an option to enable computer use, so please enable it. In Apple settings, there are different settings that you have to enable for codecs. You can check on Google how to do it. I have already done it for this, so I won't repeat it again. But this is how your setup should be. Now that we have done our setup, we're going to go back to the app. We're going to create a new project, okay? There are two options: start from scratch, use an existing folder. I almost use an existing folder. If you start from scratch, it will create a new folder in the base directory of codecs, wherever, inside documents or inside whatever. But because I already created a folder in a specific region, I'm going to click use existing folder. Right now, we know that our app is in Next.js, so we're going to just go here. What is the name? Marriage wavelength. So we have opened our app. So this is our workspace. In our workspace, you will have three different settings over here. You will have auto review, default permissions, custom. Most likely your thing will be on default permissions. I prefer to give full access because it's smart enough, especially if you're using GPT 5.5 high. Okay, if you're using anything medium, high or extra high, X high, always use full access because it's pretty smart and you are pretty sure that it won't give stuff. If you're deleting stuff, it will create an error. It will tell you need cyber access, etc. But because we have not hit that part yet, we are safe. Okay. So now I already have an architecture in my mind because I talked about the project. Okay, so I'm going to talk with codecs. You can do it two ways. One is you can discuss with codecs the architecture in one chat and then implement it in the other, option one. But if you're already a seasoned developer or you're someone who already has an idea of what you want and you know how to architect it, you can directly tell codecs and one-shot it or multi-shot it, whatever you call it, right? So let's start doing that. So now I'm going to use WhisperFlow, which is another tool that I use to speak. And in WhisperFlow, I'm going to do something very simple. We're going to talk, okay? So, for example, this is, command plus space. So this is how WhisperFlow works. Now let's actually do it, okay? Oops, my bad. So the objective of this project is very simple. It's called the Marriage Wavelength. It's basically a Next.js application. It is a front-end heavy application. We're going to use Next.js and serverless functions to create it. We're going to use a local SQLite DB, which is embedded inside, or we can use something like IndexedDB as well, which is embedded inside the browser. So none of the data actually comes to me. It's all client side. The data is completely client side. Okay. Next thing is, what I want this application to be is, I want it to be a marriage calculator. Basically, in India, we have a concept of astrology, and in astrology, we measure when the person was born, as in the date when they were born, the area or the place, the location where they were born, that gives the latitude, longitude, as well as we also take in the time. We take in what time of the day they were born, right? So we take that information for person 1 and we take the same thing for person 2. Now, both of the person's data is taken in, and then we have a calculator, a proper calculator. I believe there is already multiple calculators online that are built. It's a deterministic calculator that we have to build that is already being used in many Indian astrology apps and many astrology apps. These are fairly common and they use the same algorithmic base. They use the same calendars and they use the same basic information. So we take all of that and then we create a basic business logic or a calculator. We input both of them together, and then after inputting them, we basically expect an output. So the output is basically a report saying what are the things that are matching, how many gunas are matching. So GUNA is guna. That is a way by which people are matched in their astrological signs. or their astrological houses or whatever you call. So we want to create or generate a very detailed report on that. So we want to export it as PDF, and we also want a HTML output so we can render it on the front end. It needs to look attractive and good, and the person should be able to download that report, and they should be able to get a score for everything, which is like 10 out of 36, 1 out of 36, 24 out of 36, whatever it is. So they need to be able to get that. And then finally, we also need one more thing. We need another part in the report called ideal dates. So this should also be said, whereas if person 1 is the male or whatever, then what are the ideal dates for the female to be born? Like dates and time and latitude and longitude, what are like the ideal places, such that they would have complete compatibility, almost 36 on 36. And the same for the female, for both sides of for person 1 and person 2, right? So this is the primary objective of the application. We need to set it up in Next.js, the framework that we are using, Node.js, right? Use the latest one. And also one more thing I want you to remember, I also want you to install it with pnpm, because I use pnpm to save space. So I want you to use that. Second thing, I want you to remember that the Next.js app must use serverless functions. So all of the functions that you are calling to business logic must be serverless. So your business logic needs to be written in TypeScript, specifically in TypeScript, right? And finally, the part of the output, there should be a PDF renderer or HTML renderer with a PDF downloader. So we have to remember that. This can be a single page application. It needs to be an attractive front end. It needs to look good. It's called Marriage Wavelength. It's a fun little application for people to check their compatibilities. Okay, and this is not bearing on anyone, so it's just for fun. It's a nice fun application that we are building. And another thing that I want to take care of is in the whole application, as you're building the stack, do it step by step. Give me the steps that you will follow one by one. Architect your goal one by one, and then follow through on it one by one. And give the next to do if you haven't done it already, so that we can keep refining the app and making it better and better. So I want it to be a loop such that it becomes better and better with time. That is my expectation, right? So right now we will run the first layer such that we can build this app, and the business logic should be legit. So before you start building the business logic, I want you to give me overarching architecture of how you will build it, as well as overarching architecture of the business logic itself, as to how this calculator is built, what are the different considerations, all of that. So give me a markdown on that. Also give me a markdown on the objective, and track your goals through a goal markdown. So you have multiple goals that you're tracking through the goal markdown. So if you have missed out on anything, we'll know what's lost, and we can come back to it and we can finish it. The idea is to deploy it to Vercel today itself, as it's very important and it's for a class. So this is a fun little application that we need to do. Okay. This was my prompt. This prompt was approximately at like 175 words per minute, and this is a pretty long prompt. Okay. Now one more interesting thing is GPT has got another feature called goals. The same feature is there in Claude, and this is called dreaming, if you have heard of it. It's a very recent feature. It is a way by which the AI will keep doing it until it achieves the goal. So if you do /goal space, you're going to now create a goal. You will see a new icon which will appear at the bottom, which will be over here, at this region over here, near this 5.5 high. Here, right here, you will find another icon somewhere over here after I press enter. Okay. So we have pressed the goal, we have explained what we wanted, and we have told it. Now this prompt has enough detail to one-shot this whole application. And then I can actually just show you hosting, which is also equally easy. Okay. So I'm just going to go enter. Now it's going to start creating artifacts. It's going to start thinking. Usually GPT takes like 1 to 5. Do you see this? Do you see this thing? Sent as a goal. Do you see this? This is a specific icon that I am highlighting to you. This is important. So this means it will keep hitting this thread until it finishes this goal. It executes this goal. And now this thinking will start happening. You can now go for a cup of coffee, go eat some food, take a shit, do whatever you want, come back after half an hour, ideally, but keep monitoring it. So ideally what will happen is it will reconnect for 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, it will do that until it finally connects with the GPT API and runs it. Currently I'm running at fast GPT 5.5 high. I don't prefer to use X high only because it takes more tokens, and sometimes it goes into loops. See, reconnected 2 by 5, 3 by 5. This is a common GPT bug, so don't be afraid, it's going to happen. Then it'll be fine. I use Codex specifically because I enjoy the interface. I like Claude Code Desktop also, but for some reason I like Codex better. It's just personal preference over anything else. So basically what we're going to do is this is going to create all the code. Oh, I forgot one very important thing. If you've realized, I did not talk about any framework for the design. So because I did not tell it, it will take whatever design. It will take HTML, CSS, JavaScript as it wants. But ideally, I would have told it to use shared CN UI. We should have made it a lot more professional. But it would have made it very similar. So just to give you guys an understanding of what shared CN UI is. This is shared CN UI. It's an open source MIT library. It's a foundation design system. So it's very beautiful and neat. So it's like a UI kit, right? Which you can just take UI components and pull it in. The only disadvantage of shared CN is it makes your app heavy a bit faster. You can do it without this as well. Okay, so this is how the front end is typically made. And see, reconnecting 5x5, and now it will actually start doing it. So you don't need to be alarmed by this. And now it's working. Did you see that? So it started working. And now did you see what happened there? It's saying pursuing goal. So if you want to observe, I can click on edit. Okay, I won't edit it, but I will just show it to you. So if I edit, plan and track marriage wavelength, Next.js app, architecture, business logic, and goal markdown before implementation with deployment to Vercel as the target. You understood? So it's actually got everything. Okay. So now I have already installed a couple of skills, and it already itself has skills. And a few more important things. I have already installed GH. Please install GH and GitHub. So to give you, I think I've already done it for you, Kritik. Yeah. So I will actually just show it on the terminal right now because I'm taking a quick thing. Okay. So first install Git. So if you're going to write Git, it should work. Write Git. Git is working. This is Git. Okay. Next you want to do GH. So GH will help you to push to GitHub. So once you have these three things, you can install Vercel also. That will also help you to directly connect to Vercel. So now it's like a complete hands-free approach. Like I am not doing anything other than this prompt. And maybe as I see it doing stuff, I can tell it to do it in a more efficient way. What I told right now was a very fast prompt. I was not very effective with my prompt. If I wanted to be more effective, I would have said exactly whatever I have said, put it inside an objective. Don't do anything else. Put only what I've said as an objective. Then I would have done from that. Other route is I go into the folder, I open a markdown, and then in that I put all of my thoughts. Then I give it to this, and then I add some more text to it, context. So the best way you build context is how you can build it. And the AI cannot still break down very huge problems or architectures. It's getting better at this, but it's not the best. So when you look at it from a bigger picture, so before you used to code low level, you got to code a bit higher level now, because now it can do the grunt work, framework stuff. So higher level is architecture and understanding, business logic level. So unless you understand implementation and business logic, you can't do this. So with experience, you will get there. So this is basically this. It has added for first planning layer, objective, blah, blah, blah. And now this will keep pursuing it. It will keep going by itself. Now this will run for maybe 4 to 5 hours if it wants to. Or it will, and then we can come back after some time. Right? Goals, objectives, this thing. So it got all of this in this. Okay. Now keep observing. Did you see what happened? Did you guys observe what happened? Tell me what happened. Come on, guys. So usually when you see this UI, that means it's finished. Right. It means that GPT has finished doing the first task. Okay. And just to keep it clear, you can see the goals over here. See, inspect current planning, patch any gaps, run completion audit, update goal if completed. See? Right. Do you see this? It's create architecture.md, business logic. So it's created the goal, but now look at this. Okay, it's the same, but it's just updating what it needs to do. Okay, I think it's actually gone awry, like it's not perfect. Let's wait for another 10 minutes and see what happens. So now it's gone into a loop of only generating markdowns. This can happen. It's a good thing we are seeing mistakes happen already. You can say, hey, no, I want to build the app. I don't want you to just keep giving me markdowns, because it does that. It's RLHF into doing that.
It's trying to create the main files which should be put in another...
It's creating the business logic. So it did not perfectly understand what I wanted. I wanted it to build the app as well. I told it what I wanted, but I was not explicit enough. I should have been more explicit to say, build the fucking app, like build it. Yeah. And if it doesn't understand, I can always steer the model.
Right now it's building the main components.
No, it's building the markdowns for the main components.
The idea,
right. So can you please update the goal such that you can actually build the app? I want you to actually build the app, not just scaffold the markdowns. I want you to actually build all of this and make it perfect, right? Like install the latest Next.js and do everything else, right? Did you see this? Goal achieved. So this is a wrong goal. Our goal was not properly captured because the context was too large for the goal to understand, right? So I say, now that you have all of this, I've given you the implementation plan and you've given business architecture, everything else. I want you to actually implement this Next.js app. Use Next.js, use Node.js, use PNPM, use SQLite DB. The business logic must be in TypeScript. Give me all of it right now and explain to me stuff, right? So now I've told it this. Now I can actually go click on business logic. Okay. Oh wow, it's given me a bunch of stuff. So it has all of this. I never knew that. Important domain constraint. Side rail moon, etc. So it's always good to know your domain. I don't know this domain. I'm just YOLOing this. It's like vibe. I'm literally vibe coding this because I'm now in marriage market. So derive Rashi, 12 signs of 30 degrees, Kuta calculator. Oh my goodness.
Why is it
Okay.
create 4 different files, not everything?
Pre-compute. So it is RLHF to do that. Known variants. Okay. Oh, so there are different systems. Do you see that? With audit notes. There are different systems for Akshata, Duta and all that. And he's given this. Look. Okay. Generate candidate UTC instances related local. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Library choice. Use brother. Okay. Right. So now I'm like, hey, use Shad CN UI because I really like that UI. It makes very professional components, so use that. So first generate the UI and put some placeholders, but actually don't use placeholders. I want you to actually implement the business logic in one shot. Use the most popular business logic, the most popular logic in doing Akshata Kuta or Ashta Kuta, I mean 8 Kuta, whatever, and also use the most famous calculators, right? You can use the Manglik Kuja Dosha or the Navamasa or the full horoscope review. You can look at all of these different things. Use any of these libraries and build it, okay? Don't ask me anything. Do your web research. Put a markdown for the web research first and then actually build the app for me. I really need the app in one shot, guys. Like, I really need it. You gotta keep emphasizing, okay? I can again do /goal if I want to for long shot, but we're going to click enter. And I should have realized that when I did it, the goal did not actually capture our objective correctly. If the goal had, then it would have been amazing, but it did not capture it. It was very clear, right? So whenever the goal is improper, edit your goal. I have done that before, okay? So goal is a very experimental concept. That's why it didn't show it. When I did /, it didn't show it. Only like nerds of Codex will tell you about it, or nerds of ChatGPT Claude will tell you about it.
It created 4 files, like one is business logic, and what is there in architecture?
This is business logic architecture. Then it created the architecture itself. Okay, I'll show you the architecture, which is the script, how it's planning to build. So this is how it's planning to build. Astrology, constraints, f20mins, Akshtakuta, ideal search, report schema.ts, validation, storage. So it's actually made a very decent thing. Data model is also pretty good. Label, date, time, time zone, latitude, longitude, role, perfect, right? It's got time, comparative. This is a bit too good. I would want to make it simpler ideally. The business logic is a bit more. I would keep my app a bit more, simple. Avoid Swiss ephemeris in the first layer because common bindings in oh, okay. So there are different packages that are used for this. Okay, interesting. Prefer a pure TypeScript astronomical library. Ayanas Namsa, okay, fair. Fictional before tuning the scoring table. So there are scoring tables. Would you look at that? Confirm Node.js. Oh wow, I didn't know any of this, right? So now an agent is running. Let's actually do research at the side. I'm like, hey, so if you look at this app, it's called Marriage Wavelength and we are doing research. So I wanted to create a deep research document under documents, under the docs. And this deep research document must actually explain to me the different ways scoring actually happens. Think you're explaining it to a 10th standard student or like a 12th standard student. Explain how the scoring work, explains how the math work, explain to me how the longitudinal, latitudinal, as well as the moon symbols and all of that comes together to give a final score. Like how does the calculation work? Can you give me mathematical equations? Can you show me numbers? Can you show me graphs, charts? Can you give it to me in an expanded markdown? Make it very beautiful. Also make a beautiful PDF out of it so that I can be comfortable and I can understand and showcase it to other people as well, like a brochure later on, to show different ways by which people calculate Kundali, scores and all of that, right? Because I think every pundit does a slightly different thing. So I want to understand variations and scoring tables and exactly how it's done because there are a lot of tables. I want to understand this. I want you to go deep, 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 explain it to me, step by step, chapter by chapter, make it as deep as possible. So I did that. This also you can make a goal if you want, but I'm just going to run it because it's simpler. Okay. I have used goals a lot before, especially for overnight tasks. So I have actually used it for fine tuning and training. It's done a really good job. But in that, I had a lot of content and had many markdowns to explain what exactly I wanted. And it took me a bit of trial and error to understand what is the best way to do something, right? So let it do research. Let this also finish it. This whole procedure will take something like 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. So until then, I'll pause and I'll cut the video, right?